walls and types. So we're working towards drawing our walls from the sketch that our client had provided. And we've drawn some reference planes. We've set up our drawing. We've learned a few of the wall commands, how the ribbon works, what is the options bar. Let's continue on. We're going to be looking at the wall types. Before we get right into wall types, let's do a simple exercise, and that is let's just delete what we've drawn so far. And we've been practicing with different shapes and configurations of walls. And if you want to delete things, you can just simply click on them and then use the delete key on the keyboard. There are faster ways to do this, but for now, we're going to just do it this way, and then we'll do more exercises on how to select things very fast. So in order to look at wall types, let's click on the Wall command under the Home tab in the ribbon. You'll notice in the ribbon, you've got the green custom ribbon tab. You also have the options bar where there's a number of different settings that we can pick. And finally, we want to look at this thing right here. This is called the type selector under the properties dialog. Now I can click on that arrow and I can pick different types of walls. You can see there's a number of different ones that come with the standard template, which is what we started with. This one here is just the generic 8-inch wall. It has very little components to it. So I can just start clicking now. As I click, I've made sure all my options bar selections are correct. I'm drawing a line. Great, I'm drawing to the right level. That's the height. And as I go, I just pick, and you can just keep drawing. Once you're done drawing, of course, you're drawing clockwise, as we've talked about before. You're always going to be drawing your walls clockwise. I can hit escape twice at any point and then stop drawing the walls. Now, what if we want to have our own wall types? Maybe we don't want to use the default wall types. We'll talk a little bit about customizing that right now, and then later we'll get more in depth on how to really create complex wall types. So let's go in here to the Wall tool again, and you'll notice it starts out with basic wall generic 8-inch. Well, if I click on Edit Type, now I click on Duplicate, I can now make a whole new one, all my own. I'll call it E-wall for exterior wall, and I might just call it EW1 for external wall 1. Now, naming is something which there's a lot of different ideas on how to name properly, what the best ways to do it. I generally like to recommend that you're going to name things very simply at the beginning because it allows room for flexibility. If I decide to go brick, exterior, or siding exterior, I'm not stuck on that. I don't have to change the name and have two different wall types. I could just say this is exterior wall, and it can be a variety of different materials or configurations. That's one way of looking at it. We'll go with that for this first basic course. Let's click OK. Now, if you want to delve deeper into the structure of the wall, you can click Edit, and you'll notice you get to this almost a spreadsheet where you can change the thickness, the material, the function of the layer of the wall. And this is something that we will look at in later courses. So let's just accept that, OK. And now we have our own EW1. So anytime I draw, I can pick that wall as my standard wall. If I want to change these walls were initially made as generic 8 inches, and that's what they remain. Let's look at how to do that. I'm going to hit escape twice. And let's just click on that wall. And you'll notice now in the type selector, I should have one called EW1. There it is, the very first one. So I can swap that out and do that with all three of my exterior walls for now. Good. So those are the basics of wall types.